Okay, let's have a look at another game, Ivanchuk against Karjakin. In fact, let's get that layout we had with the big engine, and get rid of the thing here. That was kind of neat. Okay, oh, not Fritz. Oh, there. Can't go that far. Add Ribka again. So, guys, we'll turn off for the moment. Actually, so Karjakin playing black. Let's take black's point of view. Yeah. So I'm going to skim through the game first. Okay. I don't think it was this game with E4. So just skimming through it here. So kind of Giuoco piano, the quiet game. So Karjakin black seems to have a nice position with black here. Seems a little bit on the passive side. What's this? A bishop sack. Okay, I'm just skimming through it. I'm not trying to comment too much at the moment. So some weird bishop sack has happened. And now it seems chaos. Don't know what's going on at all. King side weakened. Has he got anything for material? The rooks are coming in. Okay, via f6, that's a good attacking point, as I've discovered. Check. And then this ending was totally won. Okay, so I just wanted to skim through that game. Let's look in slow motion. So Ivanchuk playing white plays e4, not d4, e4 against Karjakin. So e5, younger grandmaster, but sorry, it's not exiting this way, man. Show the game just once, Rookie writes. Exiting? What do you mean exiting, Rookie? Are you okay at the moment? I'm going in slow motion now, yeah? So knight f3, knight c6. We have Giuoco piano, bishop c4. Okay, so this is what you learn in primary school. f7 is a weakness. Attack the weakness. Right, it's a bit stodgy though, bishop c4, but it shows the basics of chess, this opening. Attacking weakness directly, f7. So black plays symmetrically. Okay, now there's exciting gambit like b4. Does anyone know what that's called? Captain Bird's Gambit or something? I don't know. Who was that guy? Anyway, so c3. So white's gonna Evans, yeah, that's the guy, the sea captain, Evans Gambit. So he's gonna sort of get that centre. But no, it's an even quieter game. It's not Giuoco piano, it's Giuoco piano, even quieter piano. Yeah, you can just about hear the keys on the piano, right? So d3, but it's not so quiet usually. So black actually reacts energetically now, soon. Not quite soon, not d5 immediately, d6 for the moment. So h3. So with h3, you know, potentially a knight on f4 is more effective. You can imagine a knight on f4, if it's going to be kicked, you know, the knight will have h3 to munch. h3 is a target for this bishop. So remember that. h3, sometimes you don't want to play h3, okay? Because this knight maneuver I did to f4. And by the evidence of the brief skim of the game, that is relevant for this game, because this knight seems to be rerouting now to this sensitive f4 square. So that's like Kasparov's favourite square, you know, f5 is white and f4 is black. So it's on that f4 square now. Okay, so knight d2. Now c6. So that seems to be a logical move, just to try and play d5, because this knight is also reinforcing e5, which means d5 maybe we got away with, even if there's frontal pressure on the e5 pawn. So knight f1. Black goes for it now. He plays d5. So he gets a bit of space in the centre. And now with knight takes d5, not c takes d5, he's double highlighting the f4 square. Okay. But something spectacular happens now in this game, which I didn't quite understand. Not quite yet. h6. Okay. So that rules out, for example, knight g5 to e4, which might not only kick the bishop, but be a nice square in general. Also, maybe bishop g5 is annoying. So h6, bishop retreats. The rook now reinforces e5. Okay. Bishop d2. Bishop b6. So both sides seem to have reasonable positions. The queen goes to c2. Maybe it's away from the king side. Look at that queen. It's not on f3 now. It's over here. Maybe, you know, he's preparing to like double rooks to intensify the pressure on e5. Maybe that's the idea. And also you can imagine d4 later might have queen g6 if this bishop's pinning this pawn. So it's subtle energy behind. Bishop e6. Okay. So there might be the idea of queen d7 and bishop takes h3 now. If black wanted to get a vicious attack going, he'd want to strip the white king bare. So rook d1, which is a bit of a committal move now, because again it would be two moves if he wanted rook e1 and to double up rooks on e5. But okay. Bishop takes h3. Now this is the real shocker. Bishop takes h3. Yeah, would any of you guys imagine that's a good move here? Let's just engine check this one. Bishop takes h3. So normal sane moves, like bishop h3 emerged there. Did you notice it popped up? But a5, queen d6, these are the normal moves. But in this game, we have a crazy move. And in fact, it's appeared here, look, and a higher depth. Bishop takes h3. What? So what is happening here? Cannot white take the bishop? Why didn't he? Okay, if he takes the bishop. Wow. Queen f6, and look at this pressure all of a sudden on f3. That queen, you know, as I said, it's not on f3. Then f2's behind it. So the knight couldn't move. So how would white defend this? If king g2, there'll be knight h4, I bet. Knight h4, a decoy of the knight. For queen takes f2. Queen takes g3 and total devastation. Look at these guys ready to come in. Wow. So bishop takes h3 from nowhere. Bang. So we're saying queen f6 is the key move here to carry on the attack. How would white defend f3? If d4, you know, as going for this tactic which I mentioned before, well, that knight's stopping the pin, so just queen takes f3 here. Again, black's better. He'll just be better at the end of that. So this is amazing. Bishop h3. So c4 was played. And that knight can come to f4, that sensitive square which I mentioned earlier. Okay, c5. So why wouldn't the knight... Sorry, why couldn't g takes happen here? Now in this position, not queen f6, but apparently just queen c8 or d7, just to try and win h3. Because with that knight, you want to get into these light squares. So queen c8... And this is very, very dangerous now. In fact, losing for white if he has to play knight h5. He's just giving up material. So this is losing for white, this position, guys. Amazing, isn't it? This queen's just slightly out of the way. This bishop's slightly good. This is terrible as well. So c5 was played. And now black just carries on tearing through Ivanchuk's king position. Knight takes g2. So he doesn't mind giving up two pieces for a rook. But he doesn't take the rook immediately. He plays queen f6. So f3, is that going to move somewhere? How is f3 defended? It moves. Now he takes, so two pieces for the rook. But how many pawns has black gathered? Black still got 7 pawns. And after takes, white is down 3 pawns. So we're talking 2 pieces for the rook, but also 3 pawns here. And there's still pressure now. If this knight has to guard f3 from the queen, there's still this horrible knight f4, there's a horrible knight h4. So this looks like a passive position now. Bishop e6, neutralizing that bishop. So the knight comes in aggressively. Now the queen comes in aggressively. And these pieces are getting parked here unpleasantly round the king side. So finally attacking something, f7. Now the bishop's got rid of. And now this rook maneuver. This rook lift, it can come either to g6 or f6 to start another wave of attack against the white king. So he's about to start attacking the white king. Immediate threats on the horizon like knight h3 check and maybe knight takes f2. Not yet. Just takes knight off, and he doesn't mind going into an endgame type position even. After this he doesn't mind the endgame. Remember, he's got 3 pawns for the knight and bishop against rook scenario, and he's going to win another pawn now, because how does white defend that? And here Ivanchuk resigned. Amazing game, fun game that one, wouldn't you agree, guys? Let's look at a third pass. So it seemed to start off quite quietly with nothing much going on, and black pounced on white with this bishop takes h3 move. So he manoeuvred his knight in contact with f4 first. He played for d5 with the idea of reinforcing his control of f4 with both knights. Then later it seems this tactic out of nowhere appeared. Bishop takes h3, because there's this idea that queen f6 is going to be dangerous with this bishop on f2. So bishop takes h3. Wonderful move. Attacking move. And now he doesn't mind even if it goes to the endgame. If the pieces come off, and he's got 3 pieces as well for the rook, it's worth going into an endgame scenario here. Even if his attack doesn't deliver mate, the endgame's fine. And in fact he's immediately winning another important pawn. So here Ivanchuk gave up. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one, guys. Any questions on that? Or we'll look at the other game next, the draw. I think there was a draw in the third one. Okay, so thanks very much.